90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girl.
Keep your head up, what? Keep your head up. That's right. Whenever this life gets tough,
You gotta fight with.
Am
Am
I
I
right?
right? True blue. It's tight like glue.
What's up, everybody? This is AJ Nicole. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for taking the time out. I know I really value your time, but welcome to Thank God I'm Single. Yes, I said it. Thank God I'm single, but probably not for what you think I'm saying it for. Now, I'm not saying we're celebrating being single. We're celebrating the purpose of being. We're not even celebrating. Scratch celebrating. Just scratch the word celebrate. We are getting focused on what we can do with this time. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. It's not about me being alone or me loving to be alone or me just like not having a relationship or whatever. People are really cheesy. Let me just keep it real. I'm a single person. When people say I ain't got time for a relationship, some people really mean it. They don't have time for a relationship. There's something that they're pursuing. They know what they want. They may have discovered who they are, who they want to become. So, you become on a mission. But anytime before that, for my young people, love is usually the first thing that we want to do. And I'm telling you, the reason why I did this show is because these are just conversations we need to have. We need to talk about, relationships. It's to me, I thank God for podcasts because I can't type fast enough on social media. I just can't. I can't comment fast enough. I just can't comment on everything I see. So I just figured I'd take all that I get from social media and just regular everyday life and conversations and just put it on the podcast. So this is the first episode. I will be doing more episodes in the future, and we will have special guests and different people, any and everyday people. Obviously, if you're listening, you've been in a relationship, or you're in one, or you're married, or you're single. Whatever the case, if you're young, old, it doesn't even matter. I feel like we're gonna talk about everything. So, don't judge me. This is my opinion. This is from my experience, and I want to talk about this because I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I just need to get certain things off my chest. Just talk about certain things that that you're not going to be able to talk about when you get in a relationship, and may as well just keep it real with myself and just be open to the conversation. I've always had a passion for talking about relationships. Like I said, most of us young girls, we were brought up thinking about love and relationships and getting married and all of those things. So I did get married, and I got divorced, and I got in a long-term relationship. And I became single after that, after a lot of bumps and bruises, of course. And I'm not going to tell you how long I've been single, but we're going to just define single first, because sometimes people like to say, I'm single, and you're really not single. Single is when, I put it like this. My definition of single is when you're not pursuing someone. You're not trying to pursue a relationship. You're a single dollar bill. If you're trying to do anything, you're trying to attract something, not trying to get something. You know what I'm saying? So, one, I say, and this is for any age, because I don't know where I heard this saying from. I heard if you ain't married, you're single. If you're not married, you're single. If I'm going to say that properly. But if you ain't married, you're single. So that's what I've heard. I kind of really believe that unless you're married, it's like kind of really would put you off limits. And then we're going to get into the topics of people that are married and how single people should interact with people and that sort of thing. But first of all, I want to introduce myself because I want to let you know why you should even listen to me. Some of you may know me. Some of you may be hearing me for the first time. Hopefully you're listening still. And hopefully I don't sound like I'm rambling, but I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere. But I feel like I'm qualified to talk about relationships because, one, I've been trying to pursue one since I became aware of boys. And after many trial and error, just, learning from other people, I was really an observant, teenager. I paid attention to other people's relationships. I had a lot of older friends, so they always kind of, constantly gave me gems and just things that they were going through. And I kind of learned what to do and what not to do just from listening to other people talk about their relationships. So I feel like I'm qualified because, one, I got married young at 18, right out of high school. You think you're in love, teenage love, and just, I'm going to tell you, for my teenagers that listening right now, I'm going to tell you, I promise you, the person you love at 14, 15, 16, you may even love them 20 years from now, but you may not be in love with them. A lot of the time we just really, really like someone, and we don't know the difference. You just know what you like, you know? It's a difference between really loving someone and liking someone and thinking that's the person for you. There's just, love is just so, when you're young, that's why I'm doing the show. You get to learn from a conversation. We're going to have guests, like I said, and I'll be taking comments and, you know, sharing comments and topics and things like that in different audio. If you got video, or you want me to share something on the show, please let me know. Look me up on Facebook, AJ Nicole, AJAINECOLE. So look me up. Send me your ideas on topics, and just share, you know, some stories about your experience being single, because that's what the show is about. So for my teenagers, I'm gonna just tell you, if you get attached to someone young, it's tough. Like, it's tough. It's like having a favorite, like, it's like a pacifier. When you're a baby, the pacifier is all you know. It's comforting, and it's hard to break. You don't need a pacifier in the next phase of your life. You know, when you get teeth, it's like one of those things. When you get attached to someone in high school, it's like having a pacifier, a binky. You become dependent on that situation, and you don't even know it. You know, I was young. I remember just being so consumed. I actually have journals to prove how pathetic I really was back in high school. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm 33, and looking back at age 16, I wrote only about my relationship, and it was like, I let it be 90% of what I wrote about. That's terrible. I feel like there were more important things that I was, you know, not paying attention to, like my grades and where I wanted to go to college, and I wasn't even thinking about basketball. I wasn't working out, doing anything extra. I just feel like there were so many other things that I could have been focused on besides the relationship. It just, to me, it was just something I wanted. If I had known back then, as a teenager, you become obsessed. You just want things. You don't really know why. You just want them. And it's okay. It's normal. Like, we're born with the desire to want things. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a way that you want things, and it's a reason why you want things. You have to really, I think, this is why I think people need to be single, because you need to figure out who you are. You need to figure out what you want to do, what you want to become. And if you're trying to date someone and you don't know those things, man, that's going to be a tough relationship. Take it from me, because like I said, I got married, I got divorced, and I got married at 18. So if you're a teenager and you're listening to this, just how many years are you close to 18? I was so in love. But I was really just wanting something because I just wanted it. I don't think I really knew what I was wanting, if that's even a proper way of saying that, but I don't think I really knew what I was wanting. You know, it was just me wanting something. So as a teen, being single, I think, you know, you're going to see people in relationships, of course. I don't think it's anything wrong with liking people and, you know, building friendships. I think friendship is probably the most intimate thing you'll get out of a guy. But I mean, sex is, for my teens and for my adults, you already know. You know, we're going to keep it real on this show. I'm going to just keep it honest right now. Sex is easy. So being single is not a hard pass to be, you know, the HOE. It's not a hard pass to do that. And for my fellas, it's not a go. It's not a green light to be nasty, you know? It's just not. To have multiple partners, it's not a pass. Being single is not recess for life, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to be mindful of whatever you're doing in life and relationships. It's just one area of your life, one category, a major category at that. So, you know, I'm not one of those people that's doing a show to say, hey, let's celebrate being single. It's not even about that. It's about, why should I be single? If I am, and it's not people, I'm sure people don't plan to be single. I don't think anyone plans to be single. I think when we're young, we just kind of, you notice that you're single because you start seeing people in a relationship. You're like, man, people are with other people, you know? And I'm not saying I think you should want a best friend. I think you should want, you know, somebody, you want a best friendship. I think if somebody had told me this when I was younger, I would have been so much better off. You know, but we can talk about that. Obviously, you have to have some self-control, and I think that wanting a friendship disciplines you first, because wanting sex or having sex early, there's no discipline there. That's easy. Like, you can just fumble over that, and you can do that with several people, like, easily, especially for us women. Like, men, y'all couldn't do what women can do in a day. Like, your body is just not capable. Our bodies are made differently for a reason. So women have even more, just could have an even longer line of just nonsense. And that's why you gotta value your body, because if you don't, you gotta look at it like this: it's you have an energy, and it's both of us, as women and men. You have an energy that you're given, so you do have to be careful of. You're not just having sex with people. One, you're giving away you. It's not even it's beyond a physical thing. Like, it's beyond physical. You're giving away emotions and energy. Like, that's energy. Really, emotions is energy in motion. That's what that means. Emotions is energy in motion. That's why when you're physically involved with people, you may just get attracted or attached just to that engagement, and there's nothing beyond that. You haven't connected beyond that. So it's important, like, how you kind of look at sex. That's why I said, when you're single, you can think about all these things, but the norm of society is, when I'm single, I think about not being alone. Most people can't handle being alone. That's another reason why I did this show, is because you shouldn't be happy to be alone, not necessarily, but you should not be trying not to be alone. You know, like, where you just can't be by yourself. You can't be afraid to be alone, like, flat out. If you're at a point where you don't like to be alone and you don't like to be by yourself, that is a state. You definitely do not need to be in a relationship right now, because you haven't found yourself yet, and you want to be a complete person. You don't want to get into a relationship and you're feeling like, I can't be by myself, because then you become dependent. It's like being like a drug. You want something to fulfill you, and it can't, and you have these unrealistic expectations. I learned this by being in relationships and thinking this way, because I was so young, of course, that I didn't know who I was and who I wanted to be or where I wanted to go. It was always about the relationship, and most of the time, especially with us women young, the relationship becomes number one, and we're not even married. Many of us are just in relationships. That's not marriage. Remember what I said in the beginning. If you're not married, you're single. You are. No disrespect to the people that are engaged. No disrespect to people that are in relationships that are not married. I'm just saying, though, on paper, it's like everybody's free game. And I don't mean no disrespect, but even in my own situation. And you really, if you are in a relationship, you should treat it like that, because then you have more value for the relationship. If you have that attitude, if I was in a relationship right now, and when I start really pursuing someone, or if I get into a situation with someone, I'm really gonna look at it like he's free game for any female, because we're not married. He could walk away at any moment, and we could fall out about anything. And, you know, there's that constant, I don't know if you're gonna stay, and that's where I'm like, ooh, that kind of gets sticky. I mean, really sticky, though. And if you depend on a situation that you really have no real, you can't, if you're not married, there's nothing marriage is definitely ties you in where you legally can't do anything. Like, you're tied on paper and in person. So, like, in pretend and in real life, you're tied together. In a relationship, you're just, in pretend you're together. In real life, you're not. He could walk away in real life. Like, in your mind, y'all could be together forever and y'all could get married, but let's just be real. It may or it may not happen. So who you gonna invest more in, the relationship or yourself? What do you think makes more sense? If you invest, meaning become the woman you want to become the man you want to become. If you say you want this type of partner, this type of spouse or whatever, you got to be a mirror to what you say you want. You can't expect something and then be the opposite of that. So that's unrealistic, and that means that's why you're single right now. Come on, it's the reason why we're single. We get out of relationships because they don't work, because of things that we did or contributed to that relationship that didn't benefit the relationship. I feel like when a relationship doesn't work, it's only right for both of you to take blame for it not working, because there's no way you can measure who's more wrong or who's more right. And I'm looking at people in relationship right now. There's no way you can measure who's more there's no way. Who's measuring? God? Like, you don't got no scale. There's no rate chart or nothing. There's no way you can measure that. Each person has to give 100%. That's why I say it don't make sense to be in a relationship when you haven't figured you out, because that means that you can't control your emotions. You're letting your emotions drive. That's like a drunk driver driving your car. You have to learn to control your mind. Like, remember I said emotions is energy in motion. When you're emotional, especially as women, even men, y'all can get a little it can get a little violent when men are emotional, just as women. And it don't give us an excuse to act out, but that's what happens. It's like I said, it's a drunk driver. You've consumed too much of these thoughts about what's happened, what you don't like, what betrayal, all that. I mean, and that's, like I said, that's exactly why you have to know. That's why you have to master yourself, and that's the whole purpose of you being single, is to figure out who you are, so you can become the person. You can become the person that you say you want. I forget where I heard that quote from. You know, if you want a particular person, a particular type of person, personality, and all these things, you have to be a mirror to that. There's no way that you can attract something different than what you are. You attract what you are, not what you want. So you can look that up. I don't know where I got that from, but it's something in the law of attraction. But anyway, I want you to go right now, like, subscribe, comment, give me some feedback on Facebook at AJ Nicole, at AJAINECOLE. I'm on Instagram as well. Same thing. Go to YouTube. Hashtag thank God I'm single. No, not the whole word. TGIM single, the whole word single. And go subscribe for me. And then comment on the intro video what you thought about this episode. I'm telling you, I would really appreciate it. I just want to know what y'all think. And I would also like to know what you thought about something I said. I want to know if you disagree. I feel you. I want to have a conversation. Let's do it. Like, I just want to kind of hear your perspective. You hear mine. You know, we have a conversation. That's what it is. So we're going to have some ladies and gentlemen on this show too. I got to get perspectives this season. I didn't have any guests. I had one guest, but I really have to get a panel and get some real feedback and perspectives from different people. So if you're interested in being on the podcast, please hit me up. Go to the website www.mypngg.net, or you can hit me up on Facebook. Like I said, spelling is AJAINECOLE on Facebook, Instagram. Please look me up. Let's do it. We want to talk some more about Thank God I'm Single. Tune in. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Hashtag TGIM single. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to Thank God I'm Single on iTunes. Don't forget to hit us up on YouTube. TGIM single. Hit the subscribe button.
That's why whenever this life gets tough,
You gotta fight with.
am I right, you blue? It's like